We're all familiar with phrases like gaming culture and the gaming world. These phrases suggest that the game world has its own subculture. And of course it does. In fact, it has dozens of subcultures that range from professional gamers to Silicon Valley entrepreneurs, to kids in their parents' basement, to workers employed in the gaming industry, to grown adults who form the majority of the population in MMOs, to casual gamers who play Angry Birds on their mobile phone or solitaire on their laptop. But it's not as common to talk about games in our larger literary and artistic culture. And it's still less common to think about our literary and artistic culture's presence in the games we play. But games are deeply enmeshed in our culture, and not just our popular culture. They are complex cultural objects with roots that reach back to literary and artistic traditions dating from Homer. And like virtually all of today's culture, they mix high and low traditions. They draw on romance conventions shared by Dante and Spencer and Mallory, and they fuse these motifs with references to reality TV and Michael Jackson, The Simpsons, and anime cartoons. Some very smart game people have written about games as art. I'm thinking of Ian Bogost and Tom Bissell, among others. But my point is that it's important to come to terms with games as culture. Games as a critical part of 21st century culture alongside films and novels, music, performance, and art. The fact is, games contain elements of all those modes, and they combine them in challenging new ways. The usual way of claiming that games matter is to talk about how popular they are. The statistics are surprising to me. 69% of all heads of households play games. 97% of young people, I guess that's not entirely surprising to me, but 40% of gamers are women, and the average gamer is 35 years old. So these statistics go against many stereotypes that people have of the typical gamer. Another way of emphasizing that games matter is to talk about the enormous economic impact they have. 20 billion a year juggernaut, surpassing movie, music, and DVD sales combined, is how one critic puts it. You hear all kinds of numbers about the economic impact of gaming. I've heard numbers as high as 64 billion. That figure must be including all kinds of sales and salaries connected to gaming, on every different kind of platform. A third reason that games matter is that our society pours enormous intellectual and creative energies into producing games. It's a fantastically interdisciplinary undertaking. Computer scientists, programmers, and mathematicians join hands with writers, artists, composers, musicians, actors, directors, producers, and countless more people to bring today's biggest games to the market. These are important reasons to pay attention to the gaming industry, but they're not the only reasons that matter. We need to be thinking about how these new creative channels revise and extend older cultural forms, and how ancient literary and artistic traditions live on in today's imagination. Games increasingly attract the attention of museums and the serious media. The New York Times now regularly reviews video games, and there have been a number of high-profile museum, gallery, and theatrical performances dedicated to gaming in recent years. Imp Museum in Seattle mounted a show on the history of video gaming in the summer of 2013. The Brick Theater put on a month-long series of plays devoted to video games. In the same year, the Metropolitan Museum of Modern Art, MoMA, in New York City, added 7 more games to its existing design collection of 14 games. These are just a few of the reasons that made it seem important to me to begin studying video games in today's culture. I suspect you can think of many other reasons on your own.